So maybe the next speaker can help with that. So Craig Kaye is going to come up and tell us a bit about critical thinking. So, ripple excitement for the room.
Hello, my name's Craig. I'm a psychologist and learning professional, and what I want to do is spend a couple of minutes and a little bit longer now talking about kind of sometimes why we don't critically think about things, why we don't evaluate things. It'll be quite interactive, and I'll start it off by saying, why do we have bacon for breakfast? Tastes nice. Tastes good. Why not beef? Why not pork?
Weird.
Because that'd be weird. Well, the reason we have bacon for breakfast is Bernet, who was the nephew of Sigmund Freud in the 1920s, owned a marketing firm, and a company called Beech Nut Pork Products came to him to talk about how they can invest in the bacon industry. How can you spend more bacon? How can you spend more bacon? How can you spend more money on bacon? And the way it kind of like happened was that he wrote a letter. He wrote a letter to 5,000 doctors to reinvest, to say that bacon was worthwhile having, and as a result we accepted it culturally as time went on. With culture, Soloman Asch done a piece of work on social psychology. He said he got 12 people in a room and said which line's the longest. 11 were actors, 1 was the participant. 11 actors turned around and said A, which meant 95% of people turned around and said A. They responded even though the lines were exactly the same. He'd done it again in a lift. 11 people in the lift were the actors, 1 was the participant. Every time they got in, they done what the 11 actors done, turned round and faced away from the door. Even though it didn't make sense to do, we conformed. Winnie the Pooh. When Winnie the Pooh goes down the stairs in Christopher Robin, he gets to the bottom of it and turns around and says to Christopher Robin, I banged my head all the way down, probably not so scouse, I banged my head all the way down. How can I do it in an easier way? Christopher Robin said, we've always done it this way. What can you tell me about my maths?
Right. Top one's wrong.
Top one's wrong. No one made reference to the 80% of it that was correct. We're hardwired to focus on error. Management is a man-made structure. Dan Pink does a piece of work on how we can kind of perform better in the workplace, but managers are obsessed with telling you stuff that's wrong and trying to fix it quickly. Half time with our memory. We've looked at bacon, conformed, defined conformity, Soloman Asch, Winnie the Pooh, maths, and extrinsic and intrinsic motivators. Why I want to look at memory. The Mandela Effect. There's thousands of people who remember vividly him dying in the 1980s in prison, when in fact he died in 2013 in his own home. We see our memory as a very interpersonal thing, kind of. It's completely mine, it's off the shelf. We compartmentalise and think it's exactly the same as when we put it in. Well, let's test it. There we go. So, the man from the Monopoly game, remember him, the man from the Monopoly game? Does he wear a monocle? Yeah? Like John Berko now, who says yeah? The eyes have it. No, the man from the Monopoly game does not wear a monocle. As time's gone on, we've felt that it has, but it doesn't. We remember the Vegemite man from the 1980s, and remember him with a monocle, and over time our memory changes, so that's not answer 1. Queens, we are the champions. How does that song end? Of the world. I'm not going to sing, because it's horrendous. It's just this. But we think it's of the world. No. So it ends by that. I'll be through it quickly. I'll go through this bit. We are the champions, no time for losers, because we are the champions, and there's a nice little piano piece that kind of ends. But we think over time it's of the world. Okay, quick fire. So, Luke, I am your father, what's that off? Okay, that's wrong. Well, hello, Clarice. No, that's not off that either. Mirror, mirror on the wall?
No way.
No. Bring me up, Scotty. So, Luke, I'm your father. Empire Strikes Back, he actually says, no, I am your father. Well, hello, Clarice doesn't happen. He says, good evening, Clarice. Mirror, mirror on the wall, it's Magic Mirror. And Beam Me Up, Scotty was never actually on Star Trek. but as time goes on we remember it. So what's that got to do with critical thinking? So critical thinking would be applying scepticism to new information and applying logic to unfamiliar situations, using our memory. But what this talk's looked at over these very quick 5 minutes has been kind of sometimes our memory changes over time. One thing I usually do at the end of a talk is take a selfie. I don't know if you'd feel that's okay. Is that okay to do? Yeah. Okay. I'm not going to check GDPR. I'll accept it. Is that okay? Thank you so much.